Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about why the minimum wage needs to be increased for Americans all across the United States. So, what is the federal minimum wage? Did you know that the cost of living in the United States is more expensive than 82% of the countries in the world? The federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, and the minimum wage has been the same since 2009. The average cost of living in the United States for a single person is $2,628 per month. Minimum wage at 40 hours a week only brings $1,160 a month, and that's before taxes. So rising the minimum wage has been long overdue. The minimum wage hasn't been raised in over a decade, and it's not keeping up with the inflation of the economy. The inflation of the economy has inflated 19% in the last 10 years, but minimum wage has stayed the same. If we increase the minimum wage, it would reduce poverty. By raising minimum wage from $7.25 to $15 per hour, it would increase weekly salary from $290 to $600 per week. And that would help out so many lives and make life more manageable for the people who work hard. So according to my PowerPoint, as you see here, minimum wage only does good for a one income, one adult person. Once you add others into your income, then minimum wage will only cover less than 50% of the total cost of living. Rising minimum wage to $15 per hour would rise the coverage to 57%, which is better than the 30% most states are seeing now. So I have a testimonial here from a lady in East Pittsburgh. Her name is Angela Runco. She's 33 years old. And this testimonial was from 2016. She said, I cannot afford to pay my bills and put food on my table to feed my 5 kids with the minimum wage at $7.25. Right now, I have to rely on SNAP food stamps to make ends meet. I couldn't afford to keep our house without working 3 jobs, which means my kids would be left alone most of the time. Being a single mom, there's no way to take care of your family when the minimum wage is so low. Congress needs to wake up and see how single mothers are living. This is not right, nor is it fair that we have to struggle to live paycheck to paycheck. Raising the minimum wage would mean I would be able to live in a decent house with my kids, working 3 jobs, without working 3 jobs, and not rely on food stamps to feed my family. That's just Angela's story, and that was from 2016, and the minimum wage still hasn't been raised. So, another reason that minimum wage really needs to be increased is it helps with job satisfaction. By increasing minimum wage, employees feel more satisfaction in their jobs, which causes employees to be more creative, be more collaborative, and have better communication within each other. So, the reason we need to raise minimum wage for Americans is, one, it's long overdue. It hasn't been increased in over a decade. By increasing the minimum wage, it will reduce the amount of poverty and increase job satisfaction. The cost of living over the last 10 years has increased, so why hasn't the minimum wage increased with the cost of living? If the minimum wage was increased to at least $15 per hour, it would increase the coverage of cost of living. It wouldn't cover the whole cost of living, but it would increase it enough to where people who were working to support their families would be able to support their families easier without having to work 3 jobs like Angela had to. Thank you for your time. I would be happy to answer your questions or comments at this time.